we are.
Why are your sunglasses on, you dickhead?
Cause
Why can't I have them on?
Because you look like a dickhead. We're in a basement.
can a man live? Can a man live?
Welcome to Deal With It podcast, where we get to say whatever we want and you get to
Deal with it.
We are back and at it again. I am Brad, aka Bones.
I'm ADL.
And we have with us today the
LIL
one,
NRVS.
the only
LIL NRVS.
LIL NRVS in the house.
Good. What do you do?
So, for those of you who don't know, we had to take a little break. If you can't tell, we are at a new location, a permanent spot where we don't have to set up every time, and we can focus more on the task at hand.
Yes. What's up?
What's going on, Doug?
What's up with you? Well, tomorrow's my mom's birthday. Today we celebrated that.
Yeah? How did we celebrate that? Hey, happy birthday, moms.
Yes.
Mama nervous.
Bought the woman a coffee. Bought her something I don't remember. I was more focused on the conversation than what she ate.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
So where did LIL NRVS come from?
LIL NRVS came from the fact that everything in my life that I've been nervous about, I've done it anyway.
Okay.
If you're a little nervous about hugging that one beautiful woman, do it anyway. If you're nervous about doing stand-up, do it anyway.
Okay.
That's why I wear the glasses.
That's why
So
he
no one can
hides
see
some
how much of
demons.
us. Yeah.
Hey, I used to hide like you. I remember last week I was hiding. Dude, I couldn't find anything. I couldn't even find myself.
What were you hiding from?
What was I hiding from? I was hiding from three things.
Okay.
One, everything that ever made me sad. Everything in my life that ever hurt me. That's number one.
Okay.
Number two, every person I ever was mean to or said something mean to, which is many people. Because I say the first thing that comes to mind in many occasions. And the third, I don't know if I trust you guys enough.
I mean, you
Right.
say what you say. You
All right,
don't have to.
when I was
in a safe place.
when I was in the 5th grade, I was at a birthday party. We were in the hot tub, and I peed in the pool.
Oh no.
Oh, it was tough, dude. Couldn't live it down the rest of the year. For the next 3 years, I was called Mr. Pissy Pants. I was called Lil Nutsack, Lil Penis, every name you could think of. Until one day, I grabbed that podcast mic and I made a podcast of my own, and I called it the Pissy Pants Podcast.
Pissy Pants Podcast.
Pissy Pants Podcast.
Look it up.
Embracing every ugly piece of myself. Because we need to embrace the ugly.
Man, I was really hoping you got molested.
Hey, that did happen too.
my
Hey,
God.
high key though, that did happen too. 6th grade at that pool party. Hey, everything bad that seems to happen to me does involve a pool.
Sorry.
Hey, no, listen. Taking a minute here. 6th grade, that did happen to me. There was this,
for funsies or
no,
like
it was
for
not
real?
fun in any way. Her name was Angelica. She was the ugly cheerleader.
Oh,
She was the
no.
big fat ugly cheerleader.
She took advantage of you?
Oh, we were in the swimming pool playing Marco Polo, and I was the person who was the person with the eyes closed.
Mm-hmm.
And she went right into my tiny undeveloped wiener, and just went right in for that. Yeah, she went right in, and then told the whole school that I was gay because I backed away because I was uncomfortable, man.
Yeah, because you didn't want her.
It's
Yeah.
all right. I
Oh,
have
you had to be
Dude,
gay,
it's
right?
tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. How do you proceed? Because
Yeah.
But here we are.
You
Look
burn
at us.
you burn her house down.
Burn her house down. She doesn't have parents anymore. It's cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
too.
karma.
Yeah, karma's a bitch.
Karma's a bitch. She doesn't have parents right now. It's actually true.
Lucky.
That's actually true.
It's actually true. It's actually true. So we're 6 minutes in. We're building rapport. Here we are. We trust each other. I'm reassuring you to make sure you're comfortable and you're comfortable too. This is my podcast now.
Oh.
So I want to know both of your reasons. What are your 3 biggest motivations to getting into comedy for both of you?
Why don't you go first?
Let's go with you.
One of my biggest motivations to go into comedy was, well, I know I've always tried to be funny. Like I've always tried to make people laugh. It's my way of like coping and stuff. I mean, another thing is I always wanted to do something, but I just never knew what it was. And I watched a video, a Jim Carrey video, and he was like, if we fail on a daily basis on things we hate, why not fail at something you love? So I've been failing at something I love since
Damn right.
2019
Hey.
now.
Damn right.
6 years failing at this comedy shit, but I love it.
But no, yeah. Tell us about your. So you were on 2, right?
Yeah, and honestly, I just wanted to get away from. Well, also, I was in school for marketing, so I decided to put all the marketing into the shows and whatnot. But also, I wanted to get away from the different crowd because the crowd I used to hang out with before was more of an urban crowd, more of a out here clubs, bars type of thing. Now, when I moved to the comedy scene, it's more chill. People are more low key. I'd say they're not out here trying to be flashy about anything. It's not about money. It's not about I mean they're just you can be yourself. There's so many people that are in the comedy scene that are weird, but they're just so comfortable being themselves, and that made me be attracted to the scene.
But I love you 3. Thank you for sharing. I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome.
How about you, Bradley?
Yeah, don't ever do that again. That's gonna get you punched on camera. So, for my 3, as long as I can remember, there have been people that have said to me like when we've been joking around or just in conversations like, "Oh, you're really funny. Have you thought about writing any of that down, or have you thought about doing stand up?" And it was just always, whatever. I'm not really thinking about
people
that.
lying to him so he won't beat them up.
Yeah.
So I had inspiration from people telling me that I should start writing stuff down. And then one day I just finally was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep a running tab in my phone of just ideas or like little conversation pieces. I'll jot one sentence down that I can come back to later. And then I'll remember that conversation. And
Piggyback off that.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit.
So that's how I started writing initially, and then eventually it led to an open mic. So that's number 1. Number 2 is as a child, I'm gonna give you a little bit of trust here. A little nervous. As a child, I
the color of my shirt, you see that?
No. I was really into acting. Like I wanted to. I liked being on stage. I performed as part of the African American Children's Theater. I performed in a bunch of different stuff.
I'm crying. I got 1 tear.
No, seriously.
1 tear.
So like whatever. Fuck you guys. But I really enjoyed being on stage, and I enjoyed acting.
Hey, yo, continue.
Fuck this podcast.
Fuck this podcast. We can.
You know what's hilarious? I was like, let me trust you a little bit. You just fucking shit on me. Bitches.
I love it.
So
That's so funny.
no, but I really I actually tried to pursue acting to a degree before I kind of lost the passion for it, and then this has brought it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I just like storytelling.
Yeah. You're good at it.
Thank
You're
you.
fucking good at storytelling. Dude.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's more structured than most comics I've ever seen tell a story.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, appreciate that.
You make me pay attention. That says a lot. I don't pay attention to a lot of story comics.
Well, so the hard part is like trying to remain captivating without being wordy.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, so number 2 was I kind of fell back in love with being on stage.
Yeah.
And then number 3 is I'm doing it for fun. I've done so much in my life for a reason, or for some other reason, like other than myself. Yeah. I put me last a lot. So this is something I just do because it brings me joy. Yeah. That's it.
I dig it. I dig it, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I come from a place of when I started comedy, I started out in a very self-seeking place. I started out in a place of immediately thinking that, like, being rich and famous was a a day away. You know, the right person just had to be in the right room.
Yeah.
And that started when I was 18 at my talent show, and I was telling a bunch of one-liner jokes. And when I watch the clip back now, I actually ate shit at it, but I thought I did so good. I really thought I did so good as an 18-year-old. Like, I was like, oh, I got my lines down. I practiced in the mirror the night before, but they were all like mad cringe, bro.
Isn't it hilarious when you think you like fucking crushed something and you watch the footage back and you're like, delete that.
Yeah, unreal. Yeah, so that was like my first reason for doing comedy, is all from a place of self-seeking and coming from a place of me, like most comics, you know, most people who come from that place. But I started to really crave like a true like authenticity of being able to like tell my story, of being able to like tell like my own things from a tongue-in-cheek perspective, and also not be as self-conscious anymore. And people were able to see myself as that flawed person, able to see me as that person who's imperfect, and then, you know, inspire them to be that same person themselves. Like, my favorite comics, do you guys know Maria Bamford?
I do not.
She is like the type of comic that's like really OCD, really hyper obsessive with the wrong things, like with like so many things in the office, whether it's like the amount of eye contact they have, whether it's like the way that Janet like pours her coffee annoys her, like that kind of shit. Like like the stuff that just makes you tick.
Gotcha.
And like those are the things that like I also have like the same tick about.
Okay.
The more it comes back on you from a positive perspective, in a really good way. Oh my god, that light is scary. I'm
what
scared.
Just happened?
Help me, bro.
What?
Yes, that is scary. But
did somebody pull in the driveway? Why did that get darker all of a sudden?
And nothing changed.
Like and literally nothing.
Bruh.
Bro, that was just a shadow that came over us.
I mean, okay, we may have some lighting difficulties.
Some lighting issues.
But we're going to roll with it here on Deal With It podcast because we don't give no fucks. Yeah, somebody definitely pulled in the driveway because they blocked that window. All right.
That heavy breathing wasn't too loud in the microphone.
Yeah, little nervous, got a little nervous.
Yes. So, here's the deal. Right now.
That's hilarious. We're keeping that in.
Yes, we are. LIL NRVS is now a little bit nervous, but we are going to proceed. That's okay, because remember, if you're a little nervous, go through it anyway. The only way out is through. The only way out is through.
The little nervous that could.
Out is through.
The only way out is through.
What's the highlight of your career so far?
My highlight of my career so far.
Comedy career.
I would say there's two things that come to mind. The first one being the first couple times I did comedy on state. That was really huge, being in front of a crowd of like 150 people.
Yeah.
And like really getting a set that I was proud of, that I enunciated correctly, because I, like many people in the scene, have a little bit of a speech impediment.
Okay.
But at the same time, I've been finding ways to work through it and breathe and talk as a person, and that was one of my best sets I've ever done.
That's awesome.
In front of like 150 people. It was.
I fucking love doing comedy in that room.
And I remember when they sent me the clip, I was like, yes! But then like now I watch it back a year later, I'm like, yo, that fucking sucked. And that's like that's always like a never-ending cycle of like, oh, I feel this is personal growth by saying that this sucks, but at the same time, like, I am still proud of it. I'm still very proud of it.
You should be proud of what it was at the time when you did it. But as you get better, your shit should get better too.
Yes,
exactly. It's like me, my stuff has gotten better, but I still look at my first show and I'm like, man, I did really good on that show. Like, you
really do believe that, huh?
The crowd believed it.
The crowd believed it.
The lady who put on the show, she did a good job, and the crowd was actually there to enjoy themselves and to laugh. That was a.
That's always a huge thing. Like having a crowd that's there to participate, that wants to laugh, is huge. Yeah. Like I love that when you're like, I want to have to like work hard to get you to like me. Like you should be receptive. You're at a comedy club. Like why are you here?
I don't know. We still. I don't know. You were at that show, right, where that girl that looked good but she didn't laugh. She was like just
the whole time.
Oh yeah. She. I mean, so she was there. She looked good. Like, but she was there with her arms folded the whole time, like in the front row. Yeah. They're like, why?
Yeah.
Why even come to a show?
Right. I was like, just to show everybody you got nice tits. I was like, all right, cool.
They were luscious.
Yeah. I remember. Sorry to interrupt with my real quick.
I'm
doing it. Talk your shit. Go ahead. Do it.
It's Deal With It podcast. Yeah, we got to deal with it.
Yes. So the first time I ever hosted a show, it was at this music venue called Lake Geneva House of Music. And, in Lake Geneva, and James Green was headlining. Excellent comic, love the dude. He's
Yeah.
one of the funniest motherfuckers I ever met in my life.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
And my mom decided to bring her conservative best friend, who's like from like the white suburbs in New Berlin, has never really had a real conversation with a person of color in their entire life. And the entire show, she was just cross-armed like that. And James was working his ass off to get something out of her. Nothing. Zero.
Wow.
Absolutely zero. And it was admirable to see it, but he made everybody else in the room laugh except for her.
He was just at the.
Right.
I just went to one of his shows.
Oh, that's right. That he just hosted a show
Brewery.
at Ope.
No.
Opie.
I went. It was pretty good. Alan fucking murdered.
Yeah.
Fucking Brian LeConte did great.
Fucking love that
Everybody.
guy.
Bart Anderson did fucking awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Everybody did great.
I'm glad to see they're branching out, or like getting different venues.
Definitely.
So unfortunately, we were gonna cut to a little Guitar Hero action. We found out we have a Guitar Hero expert in the midst.
But
And,
I had a lonely childhood, didn't even talk to women, didn't do any of that. I just played Guitar Hero all day and RuneScape. That's all I did. Just
What?
RuneScape and Guitar Hero. That was it.
Yeah.
That was all I was about.
So and we have relocated the podcast to my basement, and I just so happen to have all my old systems down here. So we were going to hit up some Guitar Hero, but we could not get the wireless guitar to sync.
Did not sync that. Couldn't do it.
Wah, wah. So I overpromised and underdelivered. Story of my life. So yeah, stay tuned if we get another Guitar Hero guitar for PlayStation 3.
If you
Or
send,
if you want to see any other video games on PS1 through PS4 or on a Nintendo 64, those are the systems I have down here.
and if you want to see me piss myself, you can go over to the Pissy Pants podcast. That's over there on Spotify. You can find that over there on our platform.
Hey, Pissy Pants Podcast. We are going to
LIL
put
NRVS.
that down here because this is our new spot for sponsorship.
Yes. All right. So tell me about the worst time in which both of you ever bombed. Like, what's the worst time in which you remember?
Never lost.
Never lost.
I bombed like
No, I'm just kidding.
all my first.
Every
and
time I get
Every
on
time I
stage.
get on stage, it's not a show. I bombed. I think. I know. I do. Yeah. I bombed.
No. So I didn't. Let's say I wouldn't say I bombed, but I did not win the crowd over.
No.
They were. There's a spot I did on a show in Beloit where like it was half comedy, half concert,
Yes.
and you got to find out very quickly who was there for comedy and who was there
Music,
for music.
Music wins every time.
Yeah,
music wins every time.
won,
Music is
for
cooler.
sure.
Music is more attention getting than a sad little fragile child who's so attention starved.
Right.
Like us three in the room.
Yeah, so
most comics.
so we
Yes.
got to
Yes.
I didn't I had the people that were there for comedy laughing, but the majority of their people were there for music. So I was like,
What did the minorities do?
the minorities laughed. They were on board. I did a lot of racial material.
Good.
Uh
We love minorities here in this podcast.
Yeah.
So what's the worst worst crime you ever what's the worst crime you ever did?
you think I'm gonna admit that out of Are you out of your fucking mind?
What's the worst?
on.
What's the out of
I
the
don't know what the statute of limitations is on
yeah.
half the shit I
out
done.
of all the houses I broke into, the one that I was doing dab knife rips in, it was I lost.
Say it again.
I was doing some dab knife rips and that I was doing some knife rips with the dabs back in the day. You know, I was puncturing my lungs. You put a little sharp object over here, boo boo boo, and then you heat the nail up. You ever heat the nail to shoot the dab into your fucking lungs?
Yeah, of course.
I was cooked. Absolutely cooked. So lately, one of my big things I've been doing is I've been repairing $2 bills that are ripped. In my old, at my in-laws, they had like 7 different ripped up $2 bills, and I just threw some tape on it, and now I've been like giving it as tips to bartenders and servers. Like what I do is I throw like a 5, and then under it I put the 2, so that they can't see the tape dollar bill. That can still be used in circulation. You
Yeah,
think,
I
right?
can.
Can that make it? Chat, does that make it?
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
just take that to the bank, I believe. And
Yeah, no, I mean, they still honor it as
With a tape dollar bill, they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, banks will.
It
Okay.
just can't be missing half the bill.
I know a banker.
Okay.
I know a bank lady.
What if I came up with the $50 bill and I was like, let me explain. I lost my other half a long time ago, and then you go into a trauma dump about your previous relationship.
Like spirals.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you.
You just come out.
Excuse me, sir. Can you move to the side?
Yeah.
We have a line.
We have 4 more customers
Yeah,
trying to go. through.
Can you cry in our waiting room,
Yeah.
please?
Yeah. Do you have your flask with you, real quick?
Right.
Say that.
I'll be over here.
Do you need to speak to a manager?
I am the manager. Man, you are showing a lot of D&D on fucking camera there, buddy.
Bro, those
Suck
are-
my whole
hey,
ass.
Hey,
I like people to be conscious of how they look on camera. But like we had a conversation with a couple of other people on the pod just so that because I don't want them to be embarrassed. Like
No, I don't get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Yo,
Ooh, you don't get
I don't get embarrassed.
I like to be cognizant of like people's,
Actually, embarrassment used to be my kink.
I
That
like-
was how I started
yeah.
comedy too. That was actually, you can add that as my 4th motivation. Comedy. I got off.
I'm sure
When I
your
got
wife
home,
would appreciate your
Yeah,
dick
whenever
and
I
balls not
bombed,
being
I
in.
could come, bro. Whenever I got home, I was,
Holy shit.
Yeah, I could-
This guy's a fucking mammoth, dude.
dude. I fucking
To society, baby.
start. You ever
Yeah,
see,
I
that's a
just-
good movie. That's a good movie. Menace to Society. That is a good one. It's a classic.
It's a classic.
It's a classic movie.
Because you look like you're directing air traffic.
You like that?
I trust him as an air traffic controller, wouldn't you?
Oh man, I barely trust him as a
Like,
barber.
yeah.
You trust? I barely trust him as a barber, and that's cutting my hair. You can trust him with people's lives.
I
Yikes!
do a pretty good fucking job at your hair.
Yeah, you do.
You look great.
Thank
Don't
you.
let anyone tell you different.
I would
Yeah.
never because I'm very.
Even if I
handsome.
say anything mean about you, don't let me tell you that.
I mean,
Don't let me say that about
if you did, I probably would deserve it. Let's
But
be
like,
honest. But I'm also. It's not going to kill my confidence.
no, not even
Hey,
close.
Larry, where do you get haircuts at?
You already know where I go.
Supercuts?
You know I go to One of One. You know I go to One of One with Fernando, with my boy.
Fernando.
I go. That's my fucking dog.
For real?
Yeah, that's my
Nah, stop
fucking dude.
playing.
No, dude, my best friend in high school is his brother-in-law.
This guy, the real tall guy.
Yeah, Niall. That's
Yeah,
that's
that-
my best friend. He lives
Niall,
in
yeah,
he lives in
he does photography.
yeah, he's a videographer full time. He does his
Yeah.
own freelance now. He's my
Shout
he's on
out
my-
Niall.
Yeah, he stood
Shout
up
out to them. Shout out to
stood up at
Fernando
my wedding.
101.
Fernando
Yeah.
at one of
Yeah,
Yeah,
one.
he flew out to Sedona for my wedding. Shout out to the man.
Hey, that's so
Yeah.
dope. Actually, Fernando started with us at Barber's Company.
I know
Got
that.
married
I
in
know.
Sedona?
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I got married in Sedona over
Nice.
there. I got eloped with
I
my
remember when you
closest
got
people.
married, Yeah,
Yeah, got my closest people there.
pretty dope.
Yeah,
Oh, so you got married recently?
yeah.
then.
That was at a time when I was really mad at you because like you didn't book me, and I was like, oh, I don't want to talk to this man. Even though you were like, it was not like a negative thing. It was
No, we don't like them together. It's okay.
yeah,
it's all
it's the
right,
whole
it's
thing.
all
Yeah,
right.
neither of
Yeah.
us like you.
It's all right, no worries. The thing is,
Square up.
There's the thing.
Fuck
Remember,
you. Fuck you.
I'm the marketing
Yes.
manager.
Yes.
I'm the marketing manager.
Yes.
And Alan is the booking manager.
Listen
He
to
the guy.
that pod.
He the guy.
Passing the
So that's-
buck at
Yes.
its finest.
That's why I encourage everyone to send the videos. Don't send them to me. Send
I
it
put him
to-
in the ADL Entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To the all day laughs.
I put it in the all day laughs
Yeah,
one on
he-
Instagram and
Yeah.
Facebook.
He checks them. I
Yeah,
told him because we are booking from everywhere, but we're booking all throughout the whole year.
throughout. Yes,
So
Hey,
Yes. Throughout the whole year. Throughout the whole year.
Throughout.
Throughout the whole year.
Throughout.
I can't
Is
roll
it
my
that
R's.
bad?
I actually no. I just
There's
make
a
fun-
lot of extra
no,
R's in there.
I actually just make fun of it because it makes me
Fun?
insecure because I can't roll my R's. It's actually this is about me. It's,
Oh,
it's
that's
nothing to do with
He,
you.
he
Yeah.
wants to be more Spanish sounding.
No,
Yeah.
good,
That sounded like predator gargling.
no.
I can't.
Promise this isn't staying in.
Yeah,
Well,
there's.
is that,
This
like,
is the most vulnerable you're gonna see me on the podcast is me trying to roll my R's. Everything else is all just an act.
I thought it was when your fucking crotch was eating up your.
I thought it was when you were talking about being molested.
No, that was that was the
Let's
most.
start there.
Let's talk with the authenticity of the molestation. Let's talk about that.
Oh, we want
No,
to get
hey,
into the.
but-
We want to. It was a 3-foot pool. Actually, no. It was a 4-foot woman.
Hey,
It was a goddamn
we've been you've been snacking pretty good.
watermelon and strawberry. Yes, I
Is
have.
it-
Yeah, apparently we keep watermelon
What's your-
stock
what's your
in the Moore household.
Like, what's your favorite snack?
So I was actually. Have you guys heard of a restaurant called Crawdaddy's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom used to manage that.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
She used to manage the spot in Milwaukee, and put me on to Cajun food at a very young age. So my
Yeah.
favorite food has always been shrimp and grits. Always in that tasty.
Shrimp and grits.
Shrimp
Yeah.
and grits is so
You ever had
fucking
an
good,
alligator
dude.
sausage?
I've not.
Alligator sausage.
I would
is
eat
insane.
alligator. but I've never
Ridiculous,
had it.
ridiculously spicy and flavorful. Good.
I've had alligator,
Mwah.
but not sausage.
Yeah. See, like.
Gumbo, goddamn
Gumbo
jambalaya.
sausages,
Yeah,
Yeah.
New Orleans is where I actually proposed to my wife.
Okay.
Over
Okay,
there, yeah, I
nice.
took her to a jazz brunch.
Nice.
Took her to a
Beautiful.
jazzy brunch, and like while she was
What a
going to,
romantic guy.
yeah, when she
Fucking
was going
classy.
to butter her biscuit, I went over to the band because they had like 3 guys playing jazz music that I can't say out loud that I don't even know. But I asked them to play me a song. I'm gonna propose to my girl, and they played "What a Wonderful World" by Louis Armstrong.
Nice.
And the rest is history.
And
Got
then
down on
you-
one knee, cried like a bitch as a man should when they propose, because that's real love.
Show your feelings.
Yes.
I hope when my girl proposes, I cry.
And then yeah, right.
And then
You probably are gonna too.
she's gonna pick
I
you
am.
up, make you feel
She's
real
gonna have to
special.
lay on the
She's gonna
ground
pick
to
you up in
propose
the
to
air.
you.
She is a gym rat, so yeah, she
Okay.
might pick me up and fucking
Yeah.
turn me around.
She's gonna have to lay on the
You
ground.
call
to
her a gym
propose
rat
to
because she
him.
bites you and then you get rabies and die. Is that?
No, damn, I was no. That was fucked up. I was
Is
gonna
that-
say
is
she
that your
picks me
kink?
up- She picks me up, flipping 69 kicks, standing up.
But back to the point.
Yeah.
I'll shoot Al-Adian.
But you don't like that version?
About the old booking for the entertainment. I'll shoot.
Yeah.
Shoot the man up.
Yeah.
Hit up ADL.
Yeah, I'll shoot the man.
No, only hit up ADL. Just annoy the shit out
Just
of him.
spam that. Just hit him with
No,
that. Yeah,
we're,
fair enough.
We're like I said, we're definitely booking out, and I told him I want more local talent.
You
Yes.
look like a music producer right now.
Me or this guy?
Him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You look like DJ Detto.
You look, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You look like some. You look like.
Lock in, DJ Detto.
You look like you're about to.
On 97.7.
I'm not missing puto what?
You look like you're about to ask a music artist for $3,000 so that they can put together a record deal for you.
You
And
look
then
like
you're gonna
getting
take the
ready to
money.
Screw over a
what?
Motown
Yeah.
artist.
As a matter of fact, I'll take 15 right now.
I'll take 15 right now, right
Right
from
now.
here. Yeah.
You look like like your Daddy Yankees producer.
Man, that Yankees in some shit. His wife is taking everything. She says she
Yeah?
wants 80%.
What'd he do?
That's what I'm saying.
What'd he do?
And
What'd she
you know what he told the
What'd she
judge?
catch him doing?
You know what he told the judge? He says, "Give her whatever she asked for."
Yeah, he beat the shit out of her. Like, she has evidence.
No. She is so pale that that's the type of woman that you can't even do like
Look,
this to
listen,
her.
what did I tell you?
I punch her on their face.
If you beat the shit out of the bottom of their feet, they don't show bruises. So if you ever see my wife walking around all tenderfoot, you know why. She wasn't listening.
And
Danger.
look at this nigga's
Danger.
hands.
Hey,
Yeah, look at these motherfuckers.
this man. These two are talking about beating women,
The
and
bottom of their feet.
these two are talking about beating women, and I'm just talking about what it's like being a woman. Think about that. Empathy.
Well, do you want to
So what
take
are
a
you,
tumble
gay?
down the stairs and
Yeah,
find out?
hey, let me tell you right now what it's like being a woman. I can tell you everything I know about it. It's tough. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Hey,
We're gonna take a break to
No,
throw
no,
a
no,
little
no,
nervous
no.
down the stairs so we can find out what it's like to be
Yeah.
a woman.
it would be rock hard right now if we got off the topic of beating women.
Oh, come on.
I would get so hard if we just transition.
I don't want to. I want
I
to.
don't know if I think we'll keep talking about beating
Well,
women.
if you're gonna get
Oh,
hard,
we should keep going.
man.
I
I
get.
love beating the shit out of my wife.
Yeah, right. Man, to get your ass down here.
Yeah,
Let me show them how it's done.
Yeah. Yo,
On this episode of Brad's Basement,
what's the nicest thing you ever did for your wife?
marry her.
Kids.
Give
Yeah.
her my seed. Goddamn.
This man is garbage, but I
Yeah.
love him. But
Yeah.
I love him. But I love
I'm
him.
a trash human
Hey,
being.
you were raised by
No.
a single mother?
I was raised by a great mom and a great pop, and my dad was mad as hell all the time at everything. It didn't matter what. It didn't matter if you're doing everything right. You were always like, head on a swivel. Am I doing something wrong?
But you were raised with him, like he lived with you and stuff?
He was present. Yeah, he was there. He was watching TV a lot. That was what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, an old Irish gentleman. Yes.
Yeah.
Old Irish gentleman.
He probably had a very rough upbringing.
He did too. He didn't get hugged much.
Exactly.
He was the youngest.
So you understand why he...
Yes. He did the best he could.
That's cool.
He did the best he could. He dealt the hand he was dealt. As much as he could. And now all I can do is continue to rebuild my biology so that the next generation is more of a pussy than I am. That is...
Well, soften him up a
yeah,
little
just
bit.
soften him up a little more,
and
you know?
It's crazy, and well, you're actually kind of, you're very chill. Like, you're not...
It's not true.
Yeah, judging right now.
No, like, you're not offended. Like, you're not as soft.
And I internalize it. So here's the deal with me is I
look.
internalize everything on the drive home, but when I'm there, I am able to, flush. I'm able to flush pretty well.
You bob and weave.
I bob and weave. I try and find the joke that's butting back, but at the same time, a lot of that sad little boy internalizes.
You take some of that to heart.
I do, and that's but that's hard. It's hard like when you're in an art form where you're giving everything, because then in those cases where you're told no, you take it incredibly personally because you're putting your heart and soul into something, which is always a struggle. But it's like it's a growing process of learning not to take everything personally, to not internalize everything and become a certified hater.
Right.
In a lot of ways. You still got to be a good hang, guys. If you're gonna do comedy, you have to be a good hang.
You can't be offended.
And I still have a lot of work to do on that end. I try to have fun. I'm having more fun with it than I ever used to, but it is something you'll have to get used to, is the bob and weave, and to realize that it's never that serious and that you just have to keep making a joke.
Well, and sometimes you might not necessarily be in the mood for the shit either, but like in those moments, it's like just you don't have to be there for it. Like I've come to a point in my life where, like, if I don't want to be around something, I'm just not going to. Like, I'll just,
there are days.
I'll see y'all when I see you.
Yeah, there are days when I will go to an open mic and I will only talk to someone for like 10 minutes and then I'll be out. Like, there are some days where it's like that, but then there are days where, like, and this is especially like when my boy Tyler is there. Tyler and I will hang out till like 11 midnight.
Tyler.
Shout out Tyler B, the fucking man. When I'm like with guys like him, who I just have like a good social comedic chemistry with, it just flows so well. It flows so well, and it's so much easier.
It's nice when you have like that that natural chemistry with someone.
Yeah, it's easier than breathing.
You gotta force it like you gotta do with some people.
Yeah, it's a battle. It's a battle with some people.
Like, I get, like, after the mics, I usually hang out with Dan, with Fuel and Grabbing.
Dude, Dan, Fuel and Grabbing, and I went to see Star Wars Revenge of the Sith for the 20th anniversary.
Sith Lord.
Yep. And then just proceeded to have a lightsaber duel in the parking lot afterwards.
That's fucking tight.
So
that is some cool adult
my
shit
dog.
right there.
That's some cool adult shit.
That is some cool adult shit.
Yeah, no, we hang out after the mic. We'll have a beer, talk some shit. Hang out.
Do some name dropping whoops. You'll do a couple things. When you do, and you poo, and you do. Yes.
Huh?
So let's talk about my holes. Let's talk about my holes I had to dig out of when I started doing comedy real quick.
Okay, so yeah,
we have a couple minutes.
You put yourself in some holes.
I put myself into some pretty deep holes. Two very specific ones.
Okay.
One, when I first started doing comedy, I was so uncomfortable with myself, and I would do my jokes, but then I would bring a rubber chicken on stage. So after my set, when I couldn't think of the rest of my jokes, I would just squeak a rubber chicken into the microphone for the rest of my set. And I'd be like, "Hey yo," and like that.
A minute left.
Yeah, if I had a minute left, I would. And I had one of the.
2.5 minutes of just squeaking a rubber chicken.
And I had like the giant chicken. I had like one of like the really big ones that are like $30 because I was
Because why not?
Because I starved for attention, in every way imaginable. And it was one of those ones where you could squeeze it and it would go on for like 30 seconds of just like nonstop. Like it was that. I could bring it. I could bring it one day. That'd be.
Yeah, you should.
That wouldn't be fun for anyone.
I'd laugh now.
Send me a video of your best set.
Send me a video of Chicken's best set.
Right? Yeah, he's like, send it to Ellen. That'll get you a bunch.
Yeah. So that was the first hole, and then the other one is when I ran out of jokes, I would always do my pee-pee poo-poo bit. I don't know if you guys ever heard my pee-pee poo-poo bit.
I hate your pee-pee poo-poo bit.
Yeah, everyone did. Yeah, my pee-pee poo-poo bit. Just for context, I'm only gonna do this for context for everybody. My pee-pee poo-poo bit went like this, and it was mad. It's mad cringe, but I still like sometimes have some laughter out of it because it's cringe. Does anyone here pee on their poo-poo? Does anyone here poo on their pee-pee? Do you know who like to poo on their pee-pee? Gonna in future. Actually, I gotta redo the joke. Run it back. Okay. Does anyone here poo on their pee-pee? Does anyone here pee on their poo-poo? You know who like to pee on their poo-poo? Gonna in future, because they were pushing pee.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, that shit was pissy.
It's so bad.
I know.
It's so gross.
So that was like,
Laugh with that?
I would get it in like from the people my age that like also like cringe humor. They would love like the awkward moment after the joke was said, but like it wasn't anything to do with the quality of the joke.
It's about making people uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was like the quality of the joke, because it wasn't really about it being a good joke. It was about it being, mad cringe.
Right.
It's about in that, but also, I had to realize like why people were not respecting me, because I kept doing the joke over and over again. It became my reputation to be the pee-pee poo-poo guy, and I was like, fuck, now I need to actually have some merit and be good if I want to actually be on a show.
Right.
I actually want to, be around these people who want to make money at this venue or help this person make money at this venue. Like, there's like a way to be accessible with it, and not just be mad cringe. You have to be a better comic and keep getting better.
For sure. You got any shows coming up?
Yes, I have 2 coming up.
All right.
One being, I will be in the Oshkosh Comedy Competition on June 20th.
Okay.
That will be at 7 p.m. It'll be at the Oshkosh Arena. I will be participating and contesting with about 9 or 10 other comics, Midwest folks around the Wisconsin area. And then I have a show on the 30th where Reagan Niemola, who's hilarious, she will be headlining.
Nice.
I have Brianna, I forget her last name.
Brianna Wilhite?
Yeah, Brianna Wilhite.
Okay.
Yes, she will be doing a feature. Me and Brianna will be doing 15 minutes. And
nice.
Reagan will do a 30, wrap up the night. And
that should be a fun show.
It's been, I've been having a lot of success on the side of building a little bit of an empire with this bar in Franklin called On Cloud Wine.
Okay.
And I've been doing since October, I have been doing trivia nights and music bingo nights and hosting those and making more money than I thought I ever would have doing that.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's been a good gig, and it's been really good for learning more about the riffing process and trying to get some crowd work going. I want to be Matt Rife. That's my goal, everybody. I want to be Matt. I want to be him. I want to be Himothy. That's the end goal.
Set higher goals.
Yes. Yeah. Well said. Well said. But yeah, it's been good from a stage presence learning standpoint to do that. And I want to expand now. I've been starting to do that outreach to other bars around this southeastern Wisconsin area to see if they want to do trivia nights or they want to have someone produce a comedy show for them. And it's always an uphill battle, around the times of who wants to do it, because it's a high budget process. But you just got to keep asking. You just got to keep reaching out, and you'll get a yes. Sometimes it's 11 no's and then 1 yes. And that's what makes it different.
And that yes sometimes iffy.
Yeah, sometimes it's iffy. Sometimes they don't want to pull the trigger all the way, but the key, do not take it personally.
You got to pound the pavement. You got to just keep after it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Don't take it personally. Don't internalize it. Don't kill anybody. Don't kill anybody because...
Don't get caught killing anybody.
Yeah, don't get caught killing anybody, but also don't kill anybody.
That's it.
Do not kill any producers who don't book you for shows. Do not...
He thought about it. You almost got.
This guy has almost gotten get.
I'm the marketing.
Wait, so you're telling me I'm not the only insecure person in the room who's never been booked for a show? What?
I haven't been booked for
So I because I'm doing it for fun and I'm not pursuing it as much as I would like to, because I got the wife, the kids, the business.
I got you.
I have to focus on that shit first.
Yes, that is priority. Priority is family.
so like
There
for
are many
fun.
there are many comics who do not prioritize their family.
Yeah, that's a problem.
There are many.
No, things got to be right at home. Otherwise, I'm not gonna
Yes.
have fun doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And because I'm doing it for fun, I get on shows when I get on shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a healthy mentality,
Yeah.
you know, versus like putting all of your weight onto the aspect of comedy, and then all you get at the end of the night is a free drink and like a $50 spot,
Right.
versus like unconditional love from your wife, which is
Yeah.
more important.
I was like, I know where the people who love me most reside. I'm gonna go dive into
Yes.
that shit.
Go where you're loved and appreciated, not where you're tolerated.
Go where you're loved and
Yeah.
appreciated, not where you're
Crave
tolerated.
authenticity.
That's why I don't fuck with my family. All right,
Mm-mm.
we're gonna take a little break here.
Yeah. Boo, 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 boo.
We back. We back. Way back. Way back.
Slurping and herping. Oh, so I have some confrontation to do here.
Oh, we got beef?
I got beef with a guy named ADL real quick. This
Yeah,
gentleman right
fuck
here.
you, bitch.
So let me tell you about it. First time I met
Slap
this
the
guy.
shit out of him
First
right
time
now.
I met
I'll
this
back
guy.
you.
First time I met this guy, he thought that I was on cocaine. This man thought that I was a coked up gentleman, that I was on that I was on hard drugs. But no, I'm just on the spectrum, brother.
Oh my god.
I am just I just have a disability.
Wait, so
I just
so
In that
cocaine and tism present the same?
Cocatism?
cocaine.
I got that cokey tea, baby.
The
Yeah.
first day I met you,
Yes.
Metro.
your pupils were
What
fucking-
pupils?
They were humongous. They were 3 times the size they are now.
Yeah.
And then you were a bit
Yeah,
jittery.
I was anxious
So-
as a bitch. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this guy's on some shit, and I want.
I
Yeah,
want.
you're
I
like,
want
first
it.
of all,
Yeah.
sharing's caring.
Right?
Yes.
So you want to get booked on the show?
Put a girl on. Yeah. Real
You
quick.
want to find out why you really didn't get booked?
Yeah. This is the real reason. This is the real reason here.
Oh,
I
shit.
thought, just because they were, and you were a little, and I know you and shit,
Yeah.
we were
I
at
was
a bar.
all over the place. Yeah. You
Yeah,
thought I was
and
tweaking.
you-
You thought I was tweaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you bombed.
Yeah, I did bomb that night. Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
it's like,
So it probably made you more anxious?
Yeah, I did.
No.
It did.
So
Yeah.
my apologies. So
No,
you don't
it's love.
So
It's
you
love.
don't do no cocaine.
I do not do no cocaine.
You don't
I have
smoke
not.
pot.
I have not hit any Mary J
I-
since about.
Okay, I will freebase cocaine.
Since about
But I will
August.
not toot. I will not toot.
Since about August of 2022, I have not consumed any THC products. I have been clean from it, and I have been free from the Satan salad, the devil's lettuce. I have stayed.
I am not.
I have steered
good for you.
clear, and there is no hate towards anyone who does. More power to you. But every time that I have it, I'm even more anxious than I was the day that I even met this gentleman.
Ooh.
I honestly could have just said, instead of saying that I was anxious, I could have just said I don't trust Puerto Ricans. But I mean, but I could have just said that. But I made
No,
it.
I'm anxious. Definitely sounds better than I don't trust Puerto Ricans.
a little bit better than that. Yeah, but
Oh
yeah,
man.
had to get through that. Had to get through that, and yeah, and like I said, like I was talking about internalization before of like certain things. That was something that held on to in the heart and soul for a second. But then after I was like, hey, this is a person. This is a person. This isn't just a projection. This
This
guy.
isn't just a Puerto Rican. He's an
Isn't just-
actual
hey,
person.
he's more than just a Puerto Rican. This man is more. He's more.
He's more than just a
Yeah.
blind Puerto
Yeah.
Rican.
Yeah, but
He's
if
just in the Jose Fe- more than just a-
You look blind with your fucking Ray Charles ass glasses on right
What are
now.
you talking about, Brad?
I let this motherfucker
Hey,
cut
Lil
my
Nerve, I wanna
hair.
thank
Hey, Lil Nervous,
Yeah, baby, still
To
well.
our podcast. It was really nice
I
having
hear my
you here.
keys, park them anywhere.
Just
All right,
throw it at the
guys.
wall.
This has been Deal With It podcast. Thank you for watching. Tune in next week.
You
It's
blind
been a
bitch.
pleasure. So the question is, who
What was your first impression
Impression.
of me?
of you,
Yeah, since you told you,
like
you
from the start, I knew that you were I I knew that you were a storyteller comic, so at first I like tuned it out because I was so much more focused on my own set.
Yeah, it's hard to get comics, especially if you're into storytelling.
But that makes it so hard for you to work on shit when it's a room full of comics that aren't paying attention to you and they're worried about their own shit. And that's what makes it
extremely hard.
And that's what makes it hard for me to grow from a storytelling realm right now, because right now I'm trying to transition from like, you know, tiny stories and micro bits and one-liners towards that storytelling, but I know that no comics are paying attention, so you don't know when the actual laughs.
It's hard to figure out what works and what doesn't because so many people are in their book, you know.
See, when I go to a comic, like I'm never on my book like that unless I'm like, you know, at the beginning when I was trying to book people and stuff, you know, you know, just to get acquainted with the scene, but other than that, I actually, when I go to open mics, I actually go and I try to enjoy the...
I make it a point to pay attention because I know I would appreciate that out of the other people that are there because I'm trying to work on my shit. So I'd appreciate your genuine reaction. So I'm going to give you mine.
Like, I'm easy to make laugh.
Question. If all comics had empathy, would it be a better... comedy collective, no matter what the scene?
No,
I think you need. I think you need some that don't. I think you because I think you need comedy in all forms. You need unapologetic comedians. That don't give a fuck about anybody.
Yeah, some that don't have any basis of consciousness of other people's feelings is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. You fuck your feelings.
I needed to hear that.
Yeah,
I needed to hear that.
Yeah,
that's a lot of it.
Don't like.
And that's nothing to do with me. That is everything to do with like the mentality of like they don't owe you shit. They don't owe you shit. They don't owe you their attention. You have to earn their attention, and you have to be undeniable.
Exactly.
Right.
Just like
so, and if you get your feelings hurt in the process, this is a joke. You understand that I'm telling a joke, right?
Maybe this ain't for you. Right. And I went through that battle thousands of times while doing comedy. Whether this is for me.
Don't pay your bills.
Yes.
Yes. I don't care.
Action.
I don't care.
Jokes don't either.
Hey, producing does a little bit.
I mean,
I mean, my life's a joke.
Yeah, so I guess. No,
yeah, that's fine.
I'll stick to barbering.
Yeah, right. Until somebody
quit your day job.
Until somebody pays us to do this bullshit.
Yeah. Hey.
But yeah.
Love of the sport. It's all about love of the sport, guys.
Yeah.
Love of the sport, and you know, let's give a good shout out to the people who don't have empathy. We don't really. The last time a toast was given was Kanye West in 2010 in Runaway.
Where
the last time there was a toast given to the douchebags, the scumbags, every one of them that I know was 2010. So let's give another shout out to those impure, non-Jesus loving, agnostic,
garbage
scumbags.
Pieces of shit that we are.
Yes, all of them out there, you know who you are. If you're listening to this, just know that I hate you and I love you too. I
hate you and I always will.
And I've probably taken something you've said personally, even though you're hurt too.
You piece of shit.
I'm. What? Why are we doing this?
I'm saying that maybe one of them needs a hug, but you don't deserve it.
Yeah, fuck everyone in our audience right now. Like, let's do that.
I'm glad your dad left.
Yeah. I'm glad you were hugged twice.
You were supposed to be abused.
Yeah. Your dog wasn't supposed to live that long. Dude, you didn't deserve that.
That's my favorite one.
I'm not glad your dad left if all those things happened to you.
Yeah, I will not empathize.
Yeah, I wish he stayed and touched you more.
I wish that.
Well, at least it was him and not a stranger.
Yes. So.
Yeah, gotta keep it all in the family.
I like your pull. I like the pull in you do. I like that when there's like something sly. You like,
yeah.
Like that shit.
You like that? I was like, oh yeah.
All that shit.
Oh no, I'm stuck.
So as we exit here, I want to hear.
Yeah, my finger's stuck in the goddamn thing.
Yeah. So as we exit here, I want to
ask me something philosophical.
I want to hear something from you about whether or not how much learning you feel you still do as an adult to this day. Like how much do you feel like you've restart. Do you feel like in the modern day of living you're doing the most learning you've ever done, or do you feel like it happened when you were a teenager?
Well, obviously,
Just
I
letting
say it was easier to learn back then, but now I've learned a lot more. It's just easier to learn when you're young because you don't know much, so you could take in more information. Now you have so much information in your head that it's kind of like getting filled up, and it's like me. I remember a lot of shit that is stupid and I shouldn't remember, and that's why I do
not
comedy.
necessary.
You feel me?
And that's the stuff that's in your head instead of the important
Yeah,
shit.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I gotta dig into the important shit, but like random stupid shit that I did in middle school pop up
All
without
the time.
live rent free in my
Bro.
head.
Yeah.
Like embarrassing shit that I did in middle school.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, I should really call this person and say
From middle school?
Yeah, I swear, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, bro, we're almost 40. Like, relax with it.
it's but I've learned a lot now as an adult. Actually, in the recent years since I started doing comedy and I was in school, I learned so much, and it's actually what's molded my life now, and that's why I do all these things that I do now with the producing and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, as an adult, I've learned more because I've wanted to learn.
More eager.
Yeah.
There was better intake of knowledge versus then there was more resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what he said a little bit, but yeah, definitely agree that it's easier to learn at a younger age. You're more open, more receptive. You become kind of like conditioned as you get older to only see things a certain way.
Things are this way, black and white. Yeah.
So it's something as I've gotten older, I had to teach myself how to get out of seeing things only from my perspective. But I think you learn as much as you want to.
Yes.
And I can't get enough knowledge. Like I want to know more. Like even with this stuff, we took a break here. I had to teach myself something about audio, and I still know next to nothing. But I had to teach myself enough to get back up and running with better audio quality, a little bit different setup.
Yeah.
But I'm eager to learn. I wanted to learn.
Yeah. There's two kinds of people in the world, in my opinion. There's people that see lack of knowledge as a insecurity and as something that like makes them feel incomplete, and then there's the people who see lack of knowledge as motivation, as something that they want to discipline themselves to learning. Like, you know, in a lot of cases, like it requires, in order to actually do that learning, you have to suck at something first, and that's exactly why comedy is that example of like such a personal growth thing for most people you meet, because you have to, you know, eat shit in front of other people, and it's so vulnerable.
Oh yeah, I got to a point recently where I was able to, like, if I don't know something, I'm not gonna pretend I know.
No.
Like if you say something that I can't relate to or is foreign to me, I'm going to tell you because I would like you to relay that information to me.
I have a good example of that.
Okay, perfect.
The other day I was at Bremen with some folks, and they started talking about vapes, something that I have never had experience with, something that I've never, you know, touched upon.
Okay.
And while they're talking about this, all I wanted to do was masturbate. All I wanted to do was start touching myself because I was so uncomfortable because I've never had an experience with this thing and I have nothing to contribute to this conversation. So I was left with 3 choices, and I think I made the right choice. First choice,
Masturbate publicly.
First choice was masturbate publicly. Choice 2 was go inside and watch other comics who are better than me and make me insecure. And number 3, stand there in silence and think about every single thing in my life that has ever hurt me. And I chose number 3. And
I'm really glad you didn't choose number 1.
I'm really glad I didn't choose number 1 too.
I would have gotten with 1. I would have gotten with 1.
Yeah. And
we're not doing this? Fine, put it away.
So, comics, if you're around me, let's talk more about vapes.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about it. Yeah.
As he primes the pump.
Yeah.
All right. So if our audience wants to follow you on social media, where can they find you?
You are going to go on to Instagram and you are going to type in Lil NRVS, LIL NRVS, and you're going to find me. You're going to find clips of me making music. You're going to find clips of me doing like little tiny little comedy bits. And right now, a genre of music that I am starting to build and form is a genre that I call incel empowerment pop. And it is filled with the worst songs of all time. And I want everyone listening to this to go and listen to those on SoundCloud. You're going to find the link right here, soundcloud.com. Lil NRVS, LIL NRVS. Pissy Pants Podcast. You're going to find that on Spotify. And you're going to learn a lot about me. And you're probably going to hate me more than I hate me. And that's okay. And I love you.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
And I can't think of a better exit.
All right. Well, this has been Deal with the Podcast. Fuck you guys. We out.